Hello and welcome back to this edition of Daily Active brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I am Dustin. This is the show where we look at the most active stocks on Yahoo Finance. Right now, we're going to look at Tesla, who is up 14.75% today. Now, I always show you how I set up my own model. The reason why I do that is because I think that everybody needs to know that you have access to data, you have access to control. You do not need to buy apps. You can just build a model if you have a little bit of gumption, a whole lot of thought, and some time. Now, when we're looking at Tesla here, it is up on the 1 day, the 5 day, the 15 day, the 1 month, the 3 month, the 6 month, the 1 year. Now, the move that we're seeing in Tesla today obviously is driven by a very large catalyst. Donald Trump is elected, Elon Musk is an advisor, and we are bullish EVs, baby, because America is back. Now, when we look at what had been happening to Tesla up to this point, what was really fascinating to me, that I'll be honest about, is that from the 30th of September to the 30th of October, essentially, we really went nowhere. You had some highs, you had some lows, you had some highs, you had some lows, and now we are definitely busting a move to the higher highs. Now, when we go look at the raw data, one of the things that I love to see is when you get a gigantic breakout of volatility, actually, when you get a gigantic breakout of price with volume. Now you see the price here is 288.53. It has a red lettering with a white background. That means it is 3 standard deviations above its mean. Now the same thing is true for the volume. Now you had 163 million shares traded today. That's remarkable. This thing is now $50 above its 23-day moving average, where yesterday it was only $14. That's crazy. And you can see this light blue turquoise here. What I love about that is that that is essentially the bottoming of volatility, and the expansion is about to begin. And where you're going to see it is here. So this is my volatility and correlation. We're going to get into this as well, but I just wanted to call this out because I can see that volatility is clearly about to bottom and it's about to break out, which means we have not even seen the type of moves that we would expect to see, because the volatility is going to get wicked inside of Tesla. Now, the price and the correlation and the volatility are obviously all good because you're seeing the price to rise. If we look here again, we already covered this, but from the 1 day, the 5 day, the 15 day, the 1 month, the 3 month, the 6 month, this is all incredibly positive. Now, if we're looking at Tesla signals, we're still go long in the short term, intermediate term, and longer term. We did have some go shorts in the middle there, just as we'd mentioned about how that whipsawing and back and forth of what we saw in September and October, that's over. If we look at what we're going to see here in the trend, right now we're bearish in the short term, that's going to go bullish. Right now we're essentially bearish on the intermediate term, that's going to go bullish. Essentially, we're bearish on the longer term, that's going to go bullish. Now, if we look at the overall rolling sentiment here, one of the things that I find to be the most fascinating is the level that we're coming from. Right now, on the actual short term indicator, we're at 43.84%. You see it's 43.8 right there. That's where it would be. We are well below 50%. Now, this indicator will always want to come back into its own like feng shui little zen spot. The reason why is because bullishness and bearishness are always competing in the market for who is in control. So that means that generally it's going to stay around 50% for bullishness and bearishness. You can't get too high here. You can't usually get above 60, but this is Tesla, so it gets to 67. You really can't get too low, so it gets to the low 40s. But whenever you get to those low 40s, like it did here yesterday at 42 and a half, you're going to see a rebound. So what I would expect is that Tesla's going to be incredibly bullish for quite a while here. Now, what I love is that we have some bull key threes, which just left. We got a 1 month bull trigger, another 1 month bull trigger today. A 1 month bull trigger today is actually incredibly remarkable, considering the fact that the move that we saw, again, I'm telling you, this is going to continue to move, or at least the way that I'm seeing it in my own signals. And if I look here at the VIX, what I love is that the VIX just collapsed. You're getting risk on, it's coming right back into the market. You got go shorts in the VIX. That is incredibly bullish, because the times when you get go shorts, that just tells you so much. It tells you everything you need to see. Now, if there's anything that's a little weird about this, it's that you've got a positive correlation to the dollar in Tesla. Like, the fact that you have a positive correlation to the dollar just blows me away, because you can see here's the correlation to the dollar for Tesla. And what's nuts is that if you look, the dollar was friggin' up today. So it'll take a second for this to all kind of respawn, but you can see the dollar was up huge today. The dollar's up 1.62%, which that might not seem nuts to you, but if you look at global macro, the idea that the dollar is up, stocks are up, rates are down, or rates are up, gold is down. I don't know what kind of world you're about to go into in terms of the way that the market's about to move, but I can tell you that this thing is going to be bananas, and the moves are going to be legendary. If you've seen one Trump term in terms of what the market did, expect another same version of it. I don't know exactly what the policy is going to be, but I can tell you that the market is expecting some very, very bullish things. So if we look at the overall charts, you can see we've got a gap up here, not even based on price, not even based on earnings, excuse me. You can see we've got on the sentiment here, we're breaking back up above 50 or 45%, right above that 15-day moving average. Again, as I mentioned, this can go as high as 60% very easily. Tesla can go up near 70% very easily. But when you're down below that 40%, it is one of those things that can be incredibly explosive to the upside. We saw a massive move in the volume. We see, as we've already reviewed with the volatility has rolled all the way over. Not saying it's necessarily at the low just yet. It can go much lower sometimes. You can see here it got to 0.65. This is at 3.33, but it's definitely going to change. You can see that we've got the correlation is starting to roll over as well. You can see that we've got at the very top of the range, we have one of those things that, I mean, the price is just broken out above the top of the range. That it There's just nothing but bullishness on the horizon here for Tesla. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And before you go, subscribe to the New High newsletter. We send you 25 stocks to your inbox every single Sunday. Stocks breaking out between $5 and $20. Stocks breaking out to 1 year highs. Stocks breaking out to all time highs. It's a great list to get your trading week started. I'll talk to you soon.